How's it going, guys? Oddly Unorthodox here. A very special multiplayer game today because it is on the ranked multiplayer. So it's all nice and formal for you guys. And a 1v1, you guys don't get many of those from me, but I'm trying to get more and more out. We decided to lock in the dwarfs. I just really felt like playing dwarfs today. I'm not going to lie to you. I had fun with Khorne yesterday, but I felt a bit more Dwarven today. The build's quite simple I went for. We've gone double cannon, protected by 2 squads of slayers, triple warriors, and double longbeards. My reasoning behind this is I do like to give you guys the reasoning behind. I saw the map was the Itza map, which is perfect for artillery. And going against Bretonnia, I did expect some field trebuchets, so I brought cannons instead. I did debate bringing an organ gun, which now I think about it would have done really well. But I just went with the normal 2 cannons, triple dwarven warriors just to give you something to chuck on the side points to hold, and then longbeards to withstand some punishment and keep in the fray. So the cannons get in there straight away. We do focus his trebuchets at the start, but you will see that I quickly get away from the trebuchets. The trebuchets are really going to struggle to hurt the cannons. So I really probably should have ignored them and started pumping shots into we could have done the Grail Relic or the Luin Kerr. And there's a Paladin hiding in there. Yeah, the cannon's doing a whole lot of missing at the minute, sadly. Really not doing much. There you go, manages to hit once there. So we march up, and then we send Forik up. And the first thing we summon is some more longbeards, knowing they've got quite a heavy infantry here with loads of peasant mobs in the Grail Relic, and he's got some men at arms and some foot squires as well. So I thought we'll increase the amount of longbeards we've got just to make it a bit difficult for him to take the point quickly and to overwhelm me. And then also to deal with King Luin, we brought out some Thunderers. Absolutely love the Thunderers. Really recommend bringing them. They can do some insane damage, and the enemy has to shut them down quite quickly out of fear of being really in quite a spot of bother. So we pop up here, we pop our Rune of Doom. Cracking ability gives the whole army melee attack, and they can cause fear. Really benefits against peasant mobs. You do see I move a squad of slayers up to help me take objective 3, because I can't see much cavalry sneaking around at the moment, so I decided to use the slayers to do their job. We've got Thunderers here. He knows he's going to have to send King Luin back to deal with those Thunderers, because the Thunderers are just going to take him apart. The cannons have swapped target now, and they're putting shots into the companions. More than happy with that. You know, before they've even charged, they've lost half their models. Absolute boom of cannon shells. And then we get the Slayers round King Luin. And he's not really going to have a great fight now. He's got to deal with Slayers. So he's going to retreat and back off. We've got some good men on this point, but they are starting to take a fair amount of damage. Now the foot squires are no joke. So he tries to catch me with, the horses and King Luin. But our Thunderers move up. They're going to start popping shots soon. We put the cannons into King Luin as well. And then we've also got the Slayers moving up. We gain 0.3. Slayers are an absolute nightmare for Bretonnia to deal with unless they've got really good cavalry. The fact that the Bretonian infantry doesn't have great leadership makes it quite a nightmare for them to put up with Slayers, and you can see the Slayers just absolutely sit and mulch them to death on this point. That Grail Relic's not having a great time against those Dwarf Warriors either. You can see here that Forik's taking a fair amount of damage, but we've broke off the companions and now we're doing quite a bit of damage to that guy. I'm alright with this fight. I'm more than happy to let the Slayers sit and chip away. They get the Master Rune of Breaking, increasing their weapon damage and their armor pen even more. You can see that Luin Kerr's taking quite a few cannons to the face. He sends a squad of men at arms to take 0.1, so I decide to send some miners up there. You see the Rune of Doom coming down again, and now we bring out a second squad of Thunderers. You know, I tell you guys a lot about, you know, playing reactive or proactive depending on your forces, you know, using your army to its strengths. The dwarfs are a very reactive force that want the enemy to come to you. And they love the use of multiple firing lanes. You know, we get more longbeards coming out. You can see Leon Lancoeur's going to go down soon from this cannon fire. We do use a Master Runner. The Master Runner breaking still there. And you can see the longbeards coming to collapse these in the Thunderers. The Thunderers are not basic archers from other races that are just going to run as soon as they get caught. You know, that they'll hold their own for a little bit. They've got their axes and shields out. We chuck out more longbeards and then some quarrelers. Leon Lancoeur really wants to kill Thoric. You can see at this point the objectives are not looking too great for me, but the miners are capturing this and holding back the men at arms. The point down here will come over to me because the Slayers will beat them and then also finish up those foot squires. We've got some dwarf warriors just sat on this point taking it. Oh, nice sword of Corone popped. But you can see this fight is not a great one for him. He's going to lose the Knights to the Lion-Hearted. Leon Lancoeur's not doing too great either. Just took a cannonball to the side of the face. This Grail Relic is attacking my cannons, but he's not really doing much with it. So I'm just going to let that stay there while the cannons continue fire. And we can start firing at the other things like the Paladin. We take out the Paladin. You know, we've broken off this fight here, so now we can push up, get our firing lines going again. And you can see that Leon Lancoeur is going to take some cannons and some bullets to the back, and he's going to be down. The Paladin's been broken off as well. And then I'm pretty sure I now choose to hit the defenders. He has got some more infantry over here now, which I'm happy with because they're off the point. We send out some squads to deal with these. I'm pretty sure we drop some more Slayers in a second. But you can see that we are pushing up, taking the first objective, moving our forces up to take the second. And then is it, yep, the Dragonback Slayers. Absolutely beautiful squad. Going to send them over now to go deal with those guys and also some miners to help take point 3. We're using Thoric as a little bit of bait here. I'm happy with these defenders of Fleur de Lis charging into him because I'll just get fire into them instead. But you can see we took objective 1, objective 2, and now we're going to be on our way to take objective 3, triple capping him. These guys are not going to have a great time against 2 squads of Longbeards and some miners. The Longbeards might be quite injured, but at the end of the day, they're still Longbeards. You know, they're still quite tough to deal with. He does leave this Grail Relic and his Damsel quite out in the open. So I am more than happy to start popping shots into them with the cannons. You can see we've cleared the cannons now. He does get a squad of cavalry into this back cannon, but that's fine. We've got quarrelers and miners back here and then some Longbeards also to clear up that cavalry squad. And right now the objectives are holding good for us. Out come even more Slayers. He soon realises that he doesn't want that fight anymore. And now we can go take the last objective. He's starting to get good capture weight back on this one, so we do need to go send some support over. But you can see we start moving our infantry up. We've got Slayers, you know, we've got a lot of bodies moving up on these points. And this is the good thing about the Dwarfs, is even their ranged units are tough as nails. So like this cannon's online, and we're using it to take out the Damsel of Heaven. Yeah, these have cleared up down here, so they're okay now to take this third point. And suddenly the Bretonnian player's being pushed quite back. You can see here that we've captured point 1 there, breaking. And then these guys want to get on top of the cannons. That's fine. These cannons are back online, shooting at the Grail. And then you can see we send some Slayers over here to deal with them, dodging the Thunderbolt. We've got the Dragonback Slayers down here holding that point. And we've also got 2 squads of Quarrelers. Now taking off these guys. So it's important that you remember your firing lanes. Don't group everything together so it can just be charged by 1 squad of cavalry and get tied up. Don't leave your cannons sat right next to each other. Spread them out a bit like I did. So they've got to at least send 2 different squads out. And then always remember, guys, bring Slayers. Slayers will happily defend your cannons against most things. And even if your cannons go down, they're still going to have dealt a lot of damage to the thing that's attacked your cannons. Always worth bringing squads of Slayers. And then Quarrelers, Thunderers. I love Thunderers, think they're great. They're good at punching holes in targets. And we do lose Thoric up here, but that's fine, we'll take that. It's one of those, can't be helped. We set our cannon on the Damsel that's come back. Yeah, that cannon's broken for good. I don't think there's much bringing that back with losing the Lord as well. Yeah, not great, but it's fine. We've got the Quarrelers coming up, more Dwarf Warriors, more Dwarf Warriors, more bodies upon bodies and Slayers. The bane of the Bretonnians' existence because they have to kill them fully to get them off the point. But you can see now the Bretonnians running out of fumes. Yeah, he's not got as much supplies as me in the bank. So he is running a bit low. And my cannons are just taking apart all of his individual heroes and stuff like that he's bringing out. And you can see that even this fight in the middle is now going to my favour as well. That's all 3 points capped. They've got rid of the foot squires, so we bring them back over to that point in a second when I wake up and pay attention. And out comes another squad of Thunderers. And you can see the Quarrelers are shooting their little crossbows in. That's taking out the foot squires, breaking the grail. Everything we just need them to do, really. We've got the cannons on top of these horses, the Knights of the Realm. And we should be able to deal quite a bit of punishment to the cavalry before it even gets into fighting. You know, you can see there that it's taking quite a hit. I really should have brought the Orking guns. They would have wreaked like havoc on the Bretonnian lines. You can say that even Leon Loncoeur is getting chipped down by the Thunderers quad. Wow, one squad of Thunderers, armor-piercing missiles. He physically just can't push me off the points. He can't form a good enough force to take down, you know, all the units that I've got on the points. We've got more Slayers coming out to shut off these Knights of the Realm. Yeah, you can see that they've only been in combat the littlest amount of time. They're already breaking off. Yeah, it's an expensive unit that has not made any value. Yeah, the cannon's still hurting those Knights of the Realm pretty bad. And you can see that point 1's captured to me, point 2 and point 3. I own all 3 points. We've got some men at arms trying to take on the Dragonback Slayers down here, but they're going to get absolutely demolished. So we're more than happy for them to stay in that fight. Leon Loncoeur manages to get on the cannon, but it's fine. He's compromised the cannon, but he's now put himself in a position where 2 Thunderers are going to be able to shoot him. So you can see the firing lanes that I'm talking about. You've got to make it so if your enemy comes in to take out your cannon, he's taking way more damage to the face than he's going to be, you know, by taking out that cannon. You've really got to make it so it's not worth their time. You know, we've got Quarrelers here as well. You can see the fire of them. We've got some Knights of the Realm. The Regents of Renown one's coming down. That's fine. We'll split up our guns and make it so he's got to choose which squad to take. Not sure that was going, but I'll take it. You know, you can see that squad's being absolutely mowed down. These Thunderers are going up as well. And you can just see they're not having a great time. Really hammering these guys. And we get our cannons back up. You know, these guys are rank 5 now. 2,200 value. And we're going to set them straight onto the Knights of the Lionhearted. And you can just see the amount of damage it's about to take. Absolute crippling amounts of damage. And you can see even the Thunderers, everything's getting involved. They decided to try and run that squad up that broken. We got some more Dwarf Warriors to cushion the blow. And you can see as much as he can run from squad to squad, there's too many squads here. He'd need 3 squads of cavalry to try and shut all of this down. And he just hasn't got the requisition for it. You know, he runs from one squad to the next, but it doesn't matter because they're in guard and they're not on skirmish mode. So you can see the squad literally pulls their guns out and starts shooting into them again. Leon Loncoeur's trying to shut down Quarrelers, but even on the point, there's Dwarf Warriors, Slayers, Dwarf Warriors with quite a few kills. And the cannons are hitting everything. My guys, his guys, everybody's guys. but I'm pretty sure he surrenders in a minute, as I did bring out the Trollhammer torpedoes just to get rid of King Lewin. He was getting a bit annoying, and I thought the Trollhammer torpedoes would probably do a cracking job of that. Let's look at some of the values and see how the build went. So I definitely think there is room in this build to maybe drop a cannon and bring an organ gun. I'm going to get a bit more experience with them and see what I think. Those Slayers pay for themselves, you know, they more than pay for themselves. Even Thoric, yes, he didn't get a Mount of God himself, but all the buffs and stuff like that he brought to the party, cracking. You know, the Longbeards, for being left on the point, 100 kills each, and they lasted a good amount of time. But you can see here that I did also bring the Regents to their own Ironbreakers, but I didn't find a point to bring them out. And then also the Dragonback Slayers. The reason I like to bring a squad of Ironbreakers is purely just to stick them on a point. Think of them like Chosen in the fact that you leave them on a point. They're not getting anywhere very fast, but they're going to be a nightmare to take off that point, especially if you've got some Thunderer support from. Thank you very much, guys. This has been Oddly Unorthodox. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I'm trying to get a few more 1v1 games up for you. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.